And now we're going to turn back to tennis. This is The Open Era by Edward Schmit, and it is a debut. And Edward, I can't see you yet, but I want to say I think of you not only as an incredible debut author, but as the first subscriber to our newsletter, because somehow you must have literally found our website the very second we turned it on. And that was amazing. So thank you. Really appreciate it. And I can also say how much heart and excitement and tennis is in this book. It's very juicy and a great read. So Edward Schmit is a debut novelist with The Open Era, and with The Open Era combines three things close to his heart: queer love stories, mental health awareness, and the most beautiful sport in the world, tennis. And Kristine Swartz is an executive editor at Berkley, and they are here. So I'm going to leave you to it.
Thank you so much for that introduction, Marianne. Hi, Eddie. First, thank you for writing such an amazing book. I'm so excited to be part of your publishing journey and help get The Open Era on shelves. Romance readers are in for such a treat when they get their hands on this. So I've heard you describe this book as epic gay tennis, which, yes, that is exactly what this is. But could you also give a more in-depth overview on The Open Era?
Yeah, sure. Hi, Kristine. Thanks for being here with me today. And thank you to Publishers Marketplace for having me and choosing The Open Era as a buzz book. This is all very exciting and buzzy. Hi, everybody. My name is Edward Schmit. I'm the author of The Open Era. The Open Era is a story about the first openly gay male tennis player to compete in a Grand Slam. His name is Austin Hardy. He is 20 years old. He's recently turned pro, and he came out when he was a freshman in high school, and it was really no big deal. But when he qualifies for the US Open, the largest tennis tournament in the world, his sexuality suddenly becomes a very big deal because he makes history, and all of the media attention turns straight to him. He feels the pressure of being a poster boy and the pressure of competing at the highest level of his life. All of that kind of spirals into making his mental health take a turn for the worse. He has an anxiety attack on a practice court and trips and falls and opens his eyes to a very handsome man named Diego Cruz, who is hot, tennis phenom, probably straight, and world number 2. And Austin and Diego start a friendship, maybe something more, and they find out soon that they are about to go head-to-head at the US Open and stand directly in each other's way at the US Open. It takes place over 2 weeks right here in New York City.
I think I'd be very lucky if every panic attack ended in a very hot man in front of me, but that has not been my experience.
Yep.
So you and I are also coincidentally neighbors, and I've seen you more than once on your way to Astoria Park to play tennis. Besides a personal interest in the sport, what made you choose tennis as the backdrop of your romance?
Kristine, that was so embarrassing too, because we had like our first Zoom call, and then maybe 48 hours later, I'm like walking back, and you're like, Eddie, is that you? And like we had no idea we lived next to each other. And I was coming back from literally playing tennis at the grounds of the US Open. I had my backpack on and my racket sticking out, and it's like, we get it, you like tennis. But yeah, so that it's so cool to be neighbors. And the personal interest in the sport, beyond that, yeah, I'm currently obsessed. I've been obsessed for the past like 3-4 years now. And the part about Austin being the first openly gay male tennis player, like that it hasn't happened yet. To compete in a high level at the Grand Slam. We haven't seen that in tennis. We've seen it in almost all of the other professional sports. And for that was my interest, I think, in choosing to write about this, because I started watching tennis because I was obsessed with it. And I started looking for openly gay players to support. And there are many women. I love Billie Jean King. She's a hero to me, but there are no men. And I started to think about why that was. And I couldn't get that out of my head. So I decided to write about it.
That's a great reason to write that. So you already mentioned this a little bit, but a big part of Austin's personal journey is dealing with anxiety and grief and overall mental health. He's under a lot of pressure, as you said, being the first openly gay male tennis player in the US Open. So as an author, did you find any challenges or even benefits in writing and exploring this part of Austin's character?
Austin has an anxiety disorder, and a lot of his symptoms are similar to my own. So in that way, it was pretty easy to put it on the page. It was basically just journaling. So that part, that part was easy, but it's always challenging to be open and honest about how you're feeling and about your mental health. It's important to work through that and share how you're feeling. And that was a pretty challenging part to just decide that I want to put a piece of me like this out there. But I know that that's important, and it's important to share our stories. And it was great to be able to share that story through Austin. And he definitely goes through it. He his journey is imperfect too. He really wants to improve on his mental health, but it's not exactly linear. He makes mistakes. He a lot of the times his anxiety is at odds with two things that he wants, which is to win the US Open and also to have this relationship. And like his anxiety makes him spiral a lot and prevents him from, or it's possible to prevent him from achieving those things.
I actually also loved like the variety of ways that his anxiety manifested on the page. One particular way was when he like burps to kind of like cope with it. I have never seen or read that before, but I mean, it was like, oh yeah, I'm sure there's someone who does actually have to do that.
Yeah. Kristine, I'm sure there is.
But not you.
Not me.
Not you just don't burp for anxiety. But,
no burp.
no judgment if you do. So to veer slightly off topic, would you like to share a little bit about your nonprofit? I don't mind.
Yeah, I in 2017 I co-founded a mental health campaign with one of my best friends, Chris Wood. It's called I Don't Mind, and our mission is to inspire open and honest conversations about mental health in new and creative ways. And we've been around for 7, 8 years now, and over the years we have put on mental health summits for young people to talk about mental health leadership. We have hosted writing workshops to help people hone their writing skills and inspire them to share their own stories. We have a website where you can find articles on mental health written in relatable ways. It's not so mumbo jumbo mental healthy. It's like really, you're able to hopefully see yourselves in these articles and figure out ways to put yourself on the path of recovery. We also have a popular Ask a Therapist series where we take your questions and we get them answered by real therapists to further destigmatize going to therapy and just being open about how you're feeling. So that's I Don't Mind. And currently I work for Mental Health America, which is the nation's leading mental health nonprofit that's community-based in the nation. And one of our biggest offerings is free mental health screening online. So if you are not sure how you're feeling, if you think something might be up, you can take a mental health screen at mhanational.org/screen and check in with yourself. And you can do that free, confidentially, 24/7.
That's an amazing mission on both fronts. So now let's talk young love. The open era is a new adult romance. Sadly, you and I are no longer considered new adult age, but that doesn't have to stop us. I know, right? Being in your 30s, you're no longer new adults. But we can still love and appreciate stories that cover that age range. So I'm curious what inspired you to write characters in their early 20s?
I love coming of age books and movies, so I'm just naturally drawn to that. There's something exciting about experiencing things for the first time, and that age, when you're that age, you just feel so much.
Yeah.
And that paired with first love and a fish out of water story at the US Open. This is the biggest moment of Austin's life. It's fun to experience that with him as he's a young person at 20 years old. It's fun for us to read it. It's not fun for him to experience it. But the love part, that's fun.
He has some fun first.
Yeah, for sure. There's fun in there. But yeah, so all of that really drew me to writing new adult. And yeah, I just really wanted to be a fish out of water story. There are other stories that we've seen about people older than Austin competing in tennis, but I wanted him to be experiencing this for the very, very first time and seeing it through his eyes there.
One of the things that I really loved when I first read your manuscript was the voice of Austin and how young he was. It felt very, very authentic, but also very relatable. So no matter how old the reader is, I think that they'll see a piece of themselves in the story. For our last question. So in-house, I've described this as Challengers meets Red, White, and Royal Blue. What would your pop culture mood board be to describe the open era? And also, are there any final things you'd like to share about your debut? Speaking of first.
Yeah, I think that when I was pitching this book to agents, I described it as challengers for a book for fans of challengers who wish it was gayer. So a lot of the excitement that you find in challengers and the sexiness you find in challengers, but it's about two men who are maybe falling in love. And that was a huge piece for me there. Red, White, and Royal Blue is my North Star. I love that book. And I think those are the two pieces of pop culture. And tennis is having a big moment right now, and rightfully so. It's a really, really fun sport to play. It's a fun sport to watch. I was a theater kid growing up, and I did not care one bit about sports. But let me tell you, a few years ago, I fell in love with tennis, and the way that like a match that you think you're going to lose can turn on a dime. The momentum can shift, and it's extremely plot heavy. It's extremely narrative, and it's a great setting for a story. So I hope people really enjoy it. And thank you for having me, everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you for
answering
joining
the
us.
questions.
Sorry.
Oh, no, I was
I was going to say thank you so much. And also, I see a reader in the chat saying, I think this might be the start of my tennis era. So we've done
we
something
love a
here.
tennis era.
Come on over.
Yeah. And also, thank you for the depth of your characters and how beautifully you've written them. And so now we have reached the end of the panel. Thank you all for joining us.